I mean, everything that you guys have talked about is super on point. And I've known Aaron now for a couple of years. We started LaunchControl, I think, back when it was just, kind of in its
First
beta
launched
phase.
it, yeah.
Yeah. So like I've been a LaunchControl member for quite some time now, and that picture of the roller coaster that you guys had up there. Oh man, I can relate to that, right? And like still, like to this day, like I think it's important to point out, like, depending, it doesn't really matter what stage of life cycle your business is in, like, you will still experience those peaks and valleys. Like, if I said, we came away unscathed during COVID, like, I'd be lying to you. Like, we had in April just a shitty month, like, just record low shit, right? But then we made a quick pivot, and like the value, a couple things I wrote down here is like knowing your numbers, right? And I'll get into this here because like this is super important when you're making business decisions, which really kind of help that roller coaster from happening and being able to prevent it. But making that quick decision there, okay, like direct mail, COVID, like people aren't, afraid, like people are so afraid of touching something right now that chances of them opening up mail is very, very low probability, especially when it definitely doesn't look like anything government related or whatever. So like I think we actually, based on our numbers here, we just eliminated it. So then we've had some success with text messaging before, but our consistency on it, right? Like I have acquisitions team, and them going in, like we have a whole cold call system set up, and we have different leads coming in from different places. And our whole business model now is making sure that they're doing 20% of the work. Like you guys said, the 80-20 work, right? So I don't want them doing all of that other stuff. I don't want them doing that 80%. I want them doing that 20%, which is going to bring us the return, right? And really working and following up and nurturing like those hotter leads. Like that's where they're successful. Everything else, can be outsourced now this is a mistake that we've made, is we've done the VA that's kind of like a data analyst. We've learned, and that's like the roller coaster again. Like we've learned from all of those things. And when, you brought in the service of LaunchControl, and then I met Bob at a mastermind, and then you brought it all together. This is when, I know Bob, I know what he's about. I think character and business, it needs to be there, because if I'm going to do something with the company, like it's very important. Like I know more about the person too, because the person running the business, like I don't want to do business with someone shady, right? And so once I got all that, and then we hired our VA back in June, that's when things, like for us, it's like, okay, now we can be consistent. We can gain momentum here, because like we were not going anywhere with this. We were getting a few deals here and there, but like our effort was like half-assed at best, right? Like we just didn't have the time. So it's kind of there, it's still going, but we're still getting deals other ways. So, it wasn't there. Brought in our VA. We've now hired a second one because it's going so well. And just to kind of give you an idea, this is what you're seeing here on this page. The way that we've worked this now, so like every lead that comes into our system as a valid or valid interested lead, that means like they're motivated. There's some degree of motivation. We track. And to give you an idea, so like this month, through text messaging, we've had 742 leads come through. We've had 25 of those turn into opportunities. So now they're in Podio. Those 25 are in our Podio system. And that's our acquisitions team there. They're going to be nurturing those, calling them, like doing all this virtually. We've got 3 contracts, right? So out of this here, you see the first stuff there. That's great. And we closed the deal. Fantastic. Couldn't have asked for anything better. But now we've got 3 contracts, right? So now here's where it gets super fun, right? Especially when you know that you have the data. Our ROI on this right now is 1,900%, almost 2,000%. Okay.
That's one of those numbers so high that's not even real. Like that doesn't
calculate. It doesn't like our RVM. Our RVM is just under 1,000. Our cold call is 800%.
Yeah.
So direct mail for us was like 3%.
Yeah.
4% is like you're lucky if you get that as a national average. Like are you kidding me? So like we've now like there's three, we do RVM, cold call, and SMS. And SMS by far is like, it's 2000%, right? Just this month. So this month and last month, I think we're sitting somewhere around 15 or 1600%. So, you know, it's going to fluctuate, but the key here is that, like, you know, the numbers don't lie. Like this is data. And when you're tracking it, you know, and this has all come from that roller coaster effect that you have, because you want visibility into how to mitigate those down cycles. This is what this is showing us, right? And you know, we've tried different things as well in terms of SMS software, and our numbers haven't been that. So, you know, like I like Aaron a lot. I like Bob a lot. You know, and we do business in Georgia. We do business in Texas. So I like, you know, but I can like anyone as much as I want to, but if it doesn't work from a business perspective, if it's not making me money, I don't care how much I like you. I'm just not going to do business with you. So, you know, my numbers don't lie. Like, I'm going to continue doing business with you guys because our numbers are good. But then there's another important factor, right? And it's really making sure that you're doing the follow-up, because, you know, a calculator or like, you know, computer can only do so much, right? Like, there's also the operator. And so, you know, you've got to make sure as a business that you're following up on these things that REVA is giving you and LaunchControl is doing for you, because if you're not doing that, like, if you're the problem then, right? So, you know, there's a lot of different things there, but at the end of the day, like, you know, the key things here that this is providing us is, like, you know, consistency, our momentum, right? We can continue, we can scale this up, we can throttle it up, throttle it down, depending on, you know, what's happening. So if we start seeing like a spike in our response rate and a spike in our, you know, our deal flow, like we're going to pull the throttle down. Like, we're just going to go for it, right? So it allows for that flexibility for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And let me just touch upon something. There's a common theme here, obviously, Steve, with you and Hunter, is as real estate companies, we need to know our numbers, and you guys do a great job of knowing your numbers. Whatever call this is on, I guarantee, no matter what, if we're talking about launch, if we're not talking about launch, whatever it is, you guys know your numbers, and that's a very important thing. I think that I want to make sure nobody misses, because that's something that is that will either allow you to stay in business forever or not. Knowing your numbers is extremely important.